Hello guys, welcome to my channel, and in this video we are going to see these three time intelligence functions, and we will see how to use these functions inside Power BI. So we have a business use case, and consider we are going to do some calculations based on time intelligence. And for example, if you want to compare current year sales with last year, so we are going to use some time intelligence functions to solve these kind of business use cases. So let's start. So we are inside Power BI now. So before starting, let me show how the tables are connected. So this is our electronic sales data set, and we have our sales table here, and it has been connected with three tables, one with product table and others with customer details table. And we also have a separate date table, which is most important for time intelligence functions. So so the first function which we are going to see is total YTD. So what is total YTD? Total OETD is which helps to do cumulative calculations. For example, if you see these two tables, the first table which shows the details, like for each month for 2023, it shows the sum of the revenue. So for Jan month, we have this revenue, and then for Feb, we have this revenue. So for each month, it has the revenue details. So similar to this, if you want to do the revenue calculation in a cumulative manner. So for example, if we see here for Jan 2023, we have the revenue of 2.6 million. And for the month of Feb, we have some other numbers like 2.9 million here. But if I want to do cumulative operations, for example, in the month of Feb, I want to show both Jan and Feb sales in Feb month. And similarly, in March, I want to show all Jan and Feb and March sales in March month. So similar to that, for each month, I want to do a cumulative sales calculations. So in that case, we can use this total OETD function. So if you see this second table, you can see this cumulative sales for each month. So for Feb, you can see here it has calculated both Jan and Feb and given the numbers in Feb month. So similar to this, it has calculated for all month in a cumulative way. So this total YTD, which takes a particular date as an input from you, and from that date, it will go to the starting point of that year, and it will do a calculation. So let us create a measure and see how it works. So I will create a new measure and I will call it as total YTD. So let me use this function total YTD. So I want to calculate my sales. So I will use my revenue column here. So in the syntax, with respect to this days field, I'm going to use my date column, which I'm going to use in my visual. So for now, I will use my order date column here. So in the filter field, I can also pass any single filter in this function. So for example, I can calculate the sales only for my online channel. So I can give a filter like online here. So this will help me to calculate the sales only for my online channel. So right now I am not going to pass any filter here. So let me keep it very simple. So now I will use my measure here. So I can use my order date here. So I will keep it as year and month. So after this, I will use my total YTD function here. So here you can see that I have filtered for 2023 as an year. So in this table, you can see the cumulative sales for each month. So for Feb, it has calculated from Jan to Feb. So you can see that this total YTD function, which does the calculation in a cumulative manner. So in this way, we can use this function to do this time intelligence calculation. So I can also filter this for 2024, and you can see that my measure is calculating in a right manner. And I can also change this table visual to see it in a bar chart. So here you can see how the sales has been increased for this month. So since we have a separate date table, so we can use our date column inside this function. So I can simply mention my date column here. So in this way, I can also use my total YTD function. So now let's move on to our next function, which is same period last year function. So now we will see what is same period last year function. So as the name indicates, this function which also takes a particular date as an input from you, and for that particular date, it will go back to a previous year for that period. So let us see how this happens inside and measure. So I have a table here, and this has been filtered for a year 2024. And here you can see that for each month, I have the sum of revenue, which is nothing but a normal revenue for each month. And after this, I have this same period last year measure. So what this measure do is, it takes a particular date which is there in this filter context, and it will go to a previous year for the same period and calculate the total sales. So for example, it takes this January 2024 as a date, and it go back to 2023 January and calculate the overall revenue. So this is nothing but total revenue of a previous year. So for each month, it goes back to 2023 and it calculates for each month. So this is how same period last year function works. So let us see how the measure is created for this. So I will create a new measure here, and let me give a title like sales last year. So I'm going to use my calculate function. So I'm going to calculate this revenue with respect to my date filter. So in the data, I'm going to use my date column on my date table. So this is our function to calculate our last year sales. So now I can use this measure in my table. So this gives me the sales for last year. So now I can compare the sales between my present year versus my last year. So now I can change the filter to 2025 so that my measure which changes accordingly. So this is how same period last year function works. And the last function which we are going to see is previous month function. So this is also useful for time intelligence calculations. So as the name indicates, this function which also takes a date as an input, and it gives the previous month for that date. So I have a table here which is filtered for year 2023. So in this table, for each month I have the total sales numbers here, and I have a measure called the previous month. So this measure which takes the particular date from the filter context, and then it calculates the total revenue for previous month. So you can see here that for Feb month it has calculated Jan month sales here, and for March we have the Feb month sales here. So this is how for each month it has calculated the previous month sales. For December it has taken the November month sales here. So this is how the previous month function which is used for the calculation. So let us see how to create a measure for this. So let me give a title like 3-month sales. And in the same way, I'm going to wrap this function or use this function inside calculate. So I'm going to calculate my revenue with respect to this date filter. So I'm going to use this previous month function. So inside this function, I'm going to use my date column from my date table. So now I can use my measure in the table. So this gives me the sales for previous month. I can also filter for different year. So this gives me the sales for previous month. So I can also filter for 2025. So this is how previous month function can be used inside DAX. So I hope you understood these three functions, and thanks for watching this video.